Mental health. We're all talking about it.
As well, the mental health system isn't working.
Many of them in the grips of mental illness.
But talking just isn't enough.
We've actually seen an increase in the number of mass shootings.
My voice shakes and my grief is evident.
I'm running away from my own problems. I'm running away from facing what's happened to me in my new reality.
That's why Spectrum News deployed a team of reporters across the nation to take a hard look at where we are as one country, being frank about what's just not working.
80% of our counties are designated as mental health shortage areas.
And more importantly, what is?
I was in a dark place, and luckily I found people who related to me.
State by state, community by community, the suffering.
I still have symptoms.
And the solutions.
I get up, every day is a new day.
This is an honest snapshot of where we stand and where we are going in the state of mental health in America. Healing, support, solutions, recovery. I'm Dr. Nicole Cross, and this is the state of mental health in America. Let's start with some good news. Talking about mental health has gone mainstream, but despite pop culture, there is still work to be done.
There is something worse out there than being sad, and that is being alone and being sad.
The other thing about depression is it kind of collapses time.
And you're angry, and you should be.
With mental health taking center stage, is it actually getting better? That's the question. Mental Health America, one of the largest nonprofits in the country advocating on the subject, just released their 2023 State of Mental Health in America report. It uses public data as well as surveys conducted by groups like the CDC and NAMI to gauge how we're doing. In it, they estimate that more than 50 million American adults are living with mental illness, and more than 1 in 10 young people are struggling with depression. In both cases, more than half of folks suffering aren't getting the help they need. Although it may be difficult to do so, as the report found there's only about 1 mental health provider for every 350 Americans. Many of them aren't even taking new patients.
We need a huge paradigm shift around how we think about mental health in the nation.
Wisconsin leads the nation in overall mental health, while Kansas ranks the lowest. Kentucky was 11th, California 19th, and Florida came in 35th. Folks in Vermont have the best access to care, but California and Florida sit in the bottom half of the country, and Texas came in dead last. And very problematic, about a quarter of adults who sought help say they couldn't afford it, with 1 in 10 kids unable to even get insurance to cover it. To top it all off, Mental Health America says it's tough to really gauge what direction this is all going, as the effects of the pandemic continue to add to the cloud of distress sitting over our world. Let's get more from Mental Health America's Chief Research Officer, Teresa Nguyen. Teresa, it's great to have you with us. What is the state of mental health in America right now?
The state of mental health in America is pretty challenging, and I think that's something that most of us feel. I've had a lot of conversations with folks about the pandemic. And a lot of people want to move on, but from a mental health perspective, we know that things aren't right. There's a lot of concern right now around youth suicide, especially as we roll out national programs like the 988, which most people still don't know about. When you actually look at the data, for example, you can see that I have a 50-50 chance of getting access to mental health care. People are accessing mental health care at rates we've never seen before, and so states are having challenges to meet the demands. What brings me hope is that our youth are so open to talking about mental health. Their willingness to speak openly about the challenges that they're facing has spread. And we see a lot of energy and interest in making sure that the mental health for all people is something that we can focus on, and that is so heartening. I am a person who, even in my mid-40s, lived through 20 years of not being able to talk about my mental health issues. And looking back now, thinking about how my life could have been different if I had a family or a school or a community environment where we could talk about these things at an earlier age, because I didn't even get help until I was in my 20s. And then I'm still working through this stuff, you know, it still affects my life and my family, my parenting. And so my hope is that with the work and the policy work and bringing attention to the issue and giving people access to care, that we just provide that little window, that little bit of light for people to do that and earlier, because it certainly would have helped me to learn bravery at an earlier age.
That growing shortage of mental health providers is bad for patients as well as therapists. I recently spoke with 2 counselors at a clinic in Austin, Texas, about shouldering that burden. Take a listen.
Hopefully, today will be a good day.
Because that's what gets her on this drive each morning.
I have about 7 clients
who Asia Creary just wants to help have a good day.
So much to do.
So much in so little time.
I have a case where the person experienced racial trauma while giving a birth.
Asia and her team of therapists start every morning these days with a packed schedule.
So the fear is the hospital?
Yes.
Which in a way is good. That's why she does it.
I do it because it's necessary. I've created not only a safe space for other people, but I've created a safe space for me. I just knew I wanted to help people.
For Asia's co-worker Shayla Wilson, it's specifically about helping kids struggling to have that good day.
And I work with kids that have depression, anxiety, some develop some obsessive disorders.
Kids she sees herself in. How adorable is she? Sometimes even sees her own daughter in.
Because they endure a lot. They endure a lot, and they just want someone to ask them, what can I do for you?
But she's losing track of how many she's asked that question.
And so that's one piece. But
Asia's whole team is. Because while plenty come to them for help, they need it too.
We need therapists. I feel like we just don't have enough.
Not enough to fill all the need here in Austin. And that's just a fraction of those coming to them for help.
I have clients that drive in from Killeen. I have clients that drive in from San Marcos. We have clients coming from everywhere.
While more people seek help than ever, most of the country sits in a deficit of therapists. But nowhere is it in worse shape than in Texas.
80% of our counties are designated as mental health shortage areas.
Would you believe we're up to 98?
Okay, when did that happen?
Yeah, it's recent.
That's a ratio of about 30,000 people to every 1 therapist.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Shayla says the weight of it all, of balancing the demand out there with her own mental health.
It weighs on you. It weighs on you. It's do I stay late? Do I go in early? It also feels like when you don't take on that extra kiddo or you don't stay late, that you're telling someone no.
Is that guilt?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So the need cascades in from both sides. And Asia does what she does, tries to help everyone.
About 2 weeks ago, we were down at the state capitol,
lobbying lawmakers for help, the colleges and universities to train more mental health professionals. Can she solve the problem? She says she can help.
The mindset of every day is a new day works for me. I get up, every day is a new day, and every day is going to be a good day.
Because that's all she wants for anybody, to find that good day. Coming up, we head to New York to take a closer look at the cracks in our mental health system and the Americans who fall through.
So 3 years after this heroic portrait of Michael in the Times, it was on the cover of the New York Post under an enormous headline, a single word, psycho.
Then we go to California to check out a unique take on therapy found only on the Golden Coast. And remember, it's okay to not be okay. There is help available 24/7. Call or text 988, the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, to speak with someone in your local community.
The strength of Texas is in its many voices and unique perspectives. Every Sunday, join host Carla Leal on In Focus Texas. Education, economy, immigration, and more. Balanced and respectful discussion of the serious matters impacting Texas from experts across the state.
We take a closer look at the issues in your community.
In Focus Texas, Sunday mornings at 9:30 on Spectrum News 1, available on all your favorite devices.
So this one-size-fits-all network upgrade is the best you guys can do?
That's accurate. Accurate. Better than that. It's the only thing we do.
That's how we know it's right for you.
We get it. Ask for the technology you need, and they call you unreasonable. At Spectrum Enterprise, we call you something else. Our kind of client. So go ahead. Be unreasonable.
Oh, sweetie. Okay, you know what? Let's take off his sweatshirt. Get rid of pictures of him. We don't have to look at him. Goodbye, Dave.
Mom, you don't understand. He's tagged in like 400 of my posts.
I can cut out tags.
No, that's not how it works.
What is a tag?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love to share their first with you.
We have one mission, and that is to serve our community.
And that's what we're doing here in Dallas-Fort Worth is we're covering people's stories. We're telling a person's story in a way that's relatable to who they are.
It's my responsibility to know the issues here in Texas, but also, more importantly, to know who it affects.
We want to make sure that you know what's going on in politics and weather and entertainment. You're going to get storytelling about the Dallas-Fort Worth community. Your evening on Spectrum News 1, weeknights starting at 5 p.m. Central.
Second, let's do more in mental health, especially for our children. When millions of young people are struggling with bullying, violence, trauma, we give them greater access to mental health care at their schools.
President Biden talking about mental health at the State of the Union, bringing a once taboo topic to one of the biggest stages in the world. That's why we're spending this hour talking about the state of mental health in America, traveling across the nation and introducing you to those most impacted by these issues. The Biden administration has dedicated $300 million to fund mental health services and to help with staffing shortages. Let's now go to New York, where our Josh Robbins shows us this man's story and the consequences of not addressing mental health.
Jonathan Rosen's new book is about his childhood best friend, a prodigy named Michael Lauder. It's also about a society so taken with him, they were willing to overlook that Michael Lauder was dangerously ill. Despite a diagnosis of schizophrenia and 8 months often hallucinating in a mental hospital, Lauder would graduate from Yale Law School. It had his caregivers and admirers convinced he had overcome his illness. It landed him a glowing New York Times profile and big movie and book deals. In June 1998, Lauder made the news again. He killed his fiancée after not taking his medication. Caroline Costello was 37 and pregnant.
So 3 years after this heroic portrait of Michael in the Times, he was on the cover of the New York Post under an enormous headline, a single word, psycho.
Rosen's subtitle notes the tragedy of good intentions. It lists the many ways mental health policy failed both Costello and Lauder. He says it's a failure that persists a quarter of a century later.
It is painfully, horribly, and sadly absolutely still a problem today.
Of course, not everyone with mental illness is dangerous, but lack of treatment clearly remains a major public safety issue. A 2016 report suggests those with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder are responsible for about 1/10 of U.S. homicides. About 2 in 5 incarcerated people have a history of mental illness. Arguably, mental illness is a far greater threat to those suffering from it. Still, stigma may be fading. Mental illness was long considered a political punchline. Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania drew bipartisan praise when he recently disclosed he was getting help.
It's great to be back. Depression doesn't hit just red or blue states. Anxiety isn't just something that Republicans or Democrats suffer.
The American people have elected a divided government.
And Republicans and Democrats have voted for help. 988, the suicide and crisis hotline, began last year, though observers say it needs more staffing.
Orange County Crisis Call Center, this is Nicole. How can I help you?
And the federal government recently launched a new portal for local mental health support. But the nation's Secretary of Health and Human Services concedes more needs to be done.
If your kid ends up cutting himself so severely you got to get stitches, you know you're going to go in and get that taken care of. Got a cold, you're going to get medication. Why is it that if you go in and you say, I'm feeling really depressed, sometimes you'll get someone who says, work it out, come back later if you think it's really bad.
Meanwhile, crimes and disturbances by the mentally ill are prompting calls to involuntarily commit them. It raises thorny questions that cut to two pillars of American life: civil rights and public safety. Rosen's book notes that debate is decades old. He sees the nuances, but he also stresses that people are underplaying the risks of untreated mental illness, that good intentions aren't good enough. You just spent 10 years writing this very painful personal story. What's your hope for people who read it now?
All of these good intentions were capable of contributing to something disastrous. And so empathy is important, but it has its limits in a way.
Josh Robin, Spectrum News.
In my one-on-one interview with Dr. Christopher Jones, a mental health leader with the CDC, we talked about the government's role in finding solutions, but he also stressed the simple ways we can all take part.
There is hope, and that things can and do get better. There are simple solutions that each of us can take today to help support others who might be struggling. And that can be as easy as asking how somebody's doing, asking somebody to go on a walk, helping someone feel connected. These are all easy steps that we can take that can have a profound impact on somebody's day.
Up next, we go to Wisconsin for the inspiring story of one teen battling depression with the help of fellow students.
I was in a dark place, and luckily I found not only Regen, but I found people who related to me, who knew the struggles that I had, and I knew that I wasn't alone.
And we head out to California to see how a new app could help save lives.
Weather can be beautiful, inconvenient, and at times powerful. And it affects everything we do. At Spectrum News 1, our weather experts update you with the information and the context you need so you can better plan your day. And we do it every 10 minutes. We're the calm in the storm, Weather on the Ones on Spectrum News 1. And get your weather anytime on the Spectrum News app.
People count on Spectrum to keep them connected to what matters most. Our commitment runs deep, with over 93,000 employees and a network almost 800,000 miles long. Our commitment? It's local too. We live and work in the communities we serve, cheer for the same teams, shop at the same stores, and work hard to deliver the best internet, TV, and mobile services. Because, well, we count on them too. We're Spectrum, connecting the places we all call home.
Ready? My mom was my best friend. So when I found out she'd been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, it was one of the toughest moments of my life. Before she died, she gave me as much advice as she could. The most important thing she said was to always be my own best friend. That's why I'm standing here today with my mom in spirit to advocate and fight back against pancreatic cancer. Because when we do that, we give those fighting today a chance at a life that my mom didn't have. Join me in donating at pancan.org.
A thriving community is an informed community, and being able to play a role in bringing people the news is something that I take very seriously. There's just so many things to love about the state of Texas. Southern hospitality, great food. I love that there are so many different cultures celebrated. I want people to turn us on in the morning and feel like they've got the information they need to go out and conquer their day. I'm Alex Stockwell, anchor for Spectrum News 1.
The darkness inside of us can feel heavy at times, but we can share the weight of it together.
Bringing attention to mental health through media or just by talking about your own journeys can help.
The best thing that prevails against those things is speaking with others, being open, being honest.
From celebrities to politicians to star athletes, more Americans are speaking openly about their mental health than ever before. And that's making it easier to talk solutions, like the new 3-digit National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. In just 1 year, 988 has already received more than 350,000 calls from across the U.S. We checked in on the Lifeline centers across the nation. In Tampa, Florida, they've received about 7,500 calls since launching the service last year. Their average wait time, about 37 seconds.
Moving to a 3-digit number was going to increase awareness and make it easier for people to reach out.
Heading west to California, organizers say there are now 12 crisis centers across the state. Dee Hirsch Mental Health Services handles the calls from Los Angeles, where they answered over 260,000 calls in 2022 alone.
When people talk about their emotions and we talk about crisis, it helps.
And in the state of New York, officials say all 62 counties are covered by 988 contact centers.
That's so critical that people know that it's there. People can use it if they feel like there's not another avenue for them.
Dr. Tia Dole, Chief 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline Officer of Vibrant Emotional Health, joins us now with more. So glad to have you with us, Dr. Dole.
Thank you so much for having me.
988 became a nationally available crisis hotline in July of last year. But the journey to get to that point began years before. Can you talk about just the collaboration and the support that's been received from so many governmental agencies?
We are in the middle of a crisis, and any person that has it, even a young person in their life, are seeing that young people in particular are struggling. I'm happy that Congress has really leaned in here and said, nope, we're going to protect all Americans and provide a service to them. You know, I've been working in mental health for more than 25 years, and this is really the first time in my whole career that I think that we have clarity. And post-COVID, one of the good things is that telehealth has really had to increase the ability for clinicians to see folks remotely. I think has been game-changing in the field of mental health. I see us sort of coming together in an alignment, providing services and being able to talk about the future of mental health in America, which I think can get better.
Let's go to California now, where our Joe Kwan shows us how the sun and surf are helping people heal.
I'm Joe Kwan here at Camp